The Korean Supreme Court ruled yesterday that a Japanese corporation must pay damage compensation to the Korean women who were forced into hard labor.
In 1944, a 16-year-old girl was forced to work in Japan after she was deceived by the promise that she would get to go to school. That girl is now 90 years old and came to the Supreme Court holding on to her last hope. The lawsuit began 6 years ago. The final ruling by the Supreme Court orders Mitsubishi to pay damage compensation to the Korean women exploited by the Japanese corporation. The court determined that the victim's right to ask for damage compensation did not expire with time. Irrelevant to the settlement signed by Korea and Japan in 1965, Mitsubishi has to pay for damages caused by illegally forcing these women into labor. It has the same intent as the court's ruling last month in favor of Lee Chun-sik in the case of forced labor by Nippon Steel and Sumimoto Metal. The court set the compensation amount at between 100 million to 120 million won per person. She and her fellow victims came out victorious after some 70 years. This old woman's lifelong grievance has been answered.
오늘 기분이 좋습니다. 네, 감사합니다.
The Supreme Court also ruled that Mitsubishi has to pay compensation to those who are conscripted for hard labor. In another trial held at the Seoul Central District Court, the families of the victims of hard labor by Nippon Steel and Sumimoto Metal won their damage compensation trial in the appeals court. These court rulings have given rightful reparation to these victims and are likely to result in similar lawsuits in the future.